Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have my book review of the book Life, the Universe, and Everything by Douglas Adams, the book that does not have the Oxford comma, and that really bothers me. This is the third book in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. I have read the first two books before this, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I loved, and The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, which was just okay. I didn't really care for it. It was just I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was just frustrated by it. And this book, unfortunately, is in the I did not like it camp. What makes this series go is the humor. That's why we're here. There's a ton of humor in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. It is funny, and the Life, the Universe, and Everything is genuinely funny in parts. I was chuckling. I never guffawed, but I chuckled at a lot in this book. So, on that sense, well done, Douglas Adams, because it's a short book. I read it in a couple of hours' time. I read it in 2 or 3 sittings in one afternoon on Sunday. So it's a really quick read. But it's a ton of humor throughout, and it does land. A lot of it lands. Some of it doesn't land because British humor doesn't always land with me, but a lot of it landed with me, and I liked it. However, there are some big negatives with this book, specifically with the plotting. The first book in the series had a cohesive plot. It was a little bit absurd, but at least I could understand the plot and where it was going, and I thought this is the direction the series is going to take. And so I was I really loved the book. I think I gave it a 9 out of 10. It was delightful. And then book 2 came along, and it didn't really follow that plot. It kind of meandered, and I was like, well, maybe he's just taking his time to get there, and he'll get there in another book. Well, that did not happen. And this book had 3 plots, and none of them worked out. This book essentially has kind of 2 major plot lines in it, but neither one is called to fruition. This book is essentially a bunch of sketches, a bunch of little joke setups, sequences that are all exclusively there to be funny. None of the scenes really felt fulfilling in the story or the characters or even the world building. And any world building that was successful was only there in service of the joke. And that is wherein the problem lies. I am totally fine with you doing an absurdist, humorous series. That's totally fine with me. But you gotta have a plot, you gotta have character development, you still gotta have some basic elements to the story. And this one, it felt like a bunch of short vignettes of ideas stitched together, and none of them were fulfilling. All you got was the jokes. And to me, if I want to read the jokes that would be in here, I'd rather just read a joke book. I want it to have a fulfilling story, and it doesn't. And I've heard from other people that they have had similar experiences of feeling, well, the series kind of unfulfilling in that way. So I was so frustrated by this book that it just has the plot was just so paper thin, and then it just doesn't even happen. Nothing happens. And now these books are short books, as I said, so it's not like I would invested all this huge amount of time and not got a plot. These books are the types of books you can read in an afternoon. Usually you don't see them as individual books in a bookstore. You usually see them bound together because they're so short. And I get that. And that's actually if you could find a paperback of them bound together that's $15 new or something, that's probably a good deal for you to get. I got them in this little mass market size because I like this mass market. I like my books to be individual. It's a very rare day that I actually like omnibuses. Usually I'm not a fan of omnibuses. And so I got them all individually. This is the only one that doesn't match my set because I couldn't find the one that matches, and I wasn't about to complain that much because it's not a series that means that much. If I see a copy of the book that matches my set, I'll get it. If not, whatever. I have, as I mentioned, books 4 and 5, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish and Mostly Harmless, and I intend to read them eventually. Yes, this was a negative review for this. I'm only giving this 4 out of 10 stars, or for those of you who only do the 5-star ratings, 2 out of 5. It is not a complimentary review on my part. And despite that, I still plan to read the most. 1, because I already own them. 2, they're really short, so it's not like it's going to be a huge investment in my time. I can do this in June and this one in July and pop them out this summer, so that won't be a problem. But I'm just And also, I'm a completionist. Once I start a series, if I can, unless I'm just hating this series, I'll try to complete it. And this series has potential because the first book lived up to its potential. So I hope that the rest of the books 4 and 5, do kind of hit, because book 2 was incredibly mixed, had incredible highs, incredible lows. And this book had, okay, some good moments, but some mostly just boring story and unfulfilling story. So that is my review of Life, the Universe, and Everything, the book without the Oxford comma. If you have read this book, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Does the lack of a plot bother anyone else, or am I the only person that is bothered by this in this book? Let me know all those thoughts, and until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.